There we go.
Hey kids! Hey, Barty! Barty here. You caught me on my coffee break. Yeah, I get 2 of these a month, so when I get them, I gotta take them, I am so excited for today. We're on day 3, and we're talking about Daniel and the lion, and you are not gonna believe this. I've not been this excited since I went through the Crayola Crayon Factory back in '67. Let me tell you what we're gonna do today. We've got my friend here. His name's Father Daniel, and he is gonna tell us about, well, Daniel. What else, right? So he's going to tell us what's going on. That'll be wonderful. So without hearing anything else from me, I'm going to go back to my coffee. And Daniel, you take it away. Click.
Thank you, Barty. It's great to be here with you all. Hey, does anybody's name end in L? E-L, the sound L? Or do you have a friend or somebody who is a Nathaniel or a Samuel or a Gabriel, or today's person is Daniel? My name is Daniel, and my name ends in L. Did you know that it's a name for God? It's an ancient name. L is for God, and if your name is Samuel, that means that God heard. Or if your name is Nathaniel, that means a gift from God. Or if your name is Gabriel, that means God is my strength. Or if your name is Daniel, it means God is my judge. Our names are important to us, aren't they? And they're the first thing we often know of who we are and whose we are. So it's wonderful if God is in your very name. Daniel grew up in a time that may be a little bit like what you're growing up in right now. He was captured by this King Darius you'll hear about in the story in a minute. And he was taken to a land, and he had to decide how he was going to live, because he couldn't go to church like you have not been able to go to your church. And he couldn't go other places like you have not been able to go to school or to your favorite restaurants or places. He was a captive, and he lived in the land of Babylon. And the king really liked him, and King Darius put him in charge of a lot of things. But Daniel had to decide that he was going to keep on praying and keep on trusting in God, who he was named for. So here's a little bit of the story, and I bet that some of you already know a little bit of the story, and if you don't, I bet you'll remember this story for the rest of your life. You'll hear this story a lot, and you'll remember how much Daniel trusted in God. It begins with a verse from the book of Daniel from chapter 6. This is verse 16. So at last the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into the den of lions. The king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Once was a man named Daniel who faithfully prayed to God morning, noon, and night. Daniel also found favor in the eyes of Darius, who was ruler over the kingdom of Babylon. Because of Daniel's great ability, the king made plans to put him in charge of the entire empire. The other high officers were jealous of Daniel, and they began to try to find fault with him. Unfortunately, they could never find any fault with Daniel because he was faithful, responsible, and trustworthy. They finally decided their only chance of accusing Daniel of any wrongdoing was because of his faith in God. The other officials went to the king and said, "Long live King Darius. We all agree, peer pressure, that you should make a law that for the next 30 days any person who prays to anyone except to you, the king, will be thrown into a den of lions." So Darius, maybe not thinking through what their intent was, did as they asked. He wrote the law and he signed it. The officials knew that Daniel faithfully prayed to God. Now Daniel heard of the law, but he continued to pray 3 times a day, just as he had always done, giving thanks to God. The jealous officials went to Daniel's house And they found him praying, and they found him praying and asking for God's help. They immediately went to the king to remind him of the law that he had signed. The king was very sad because he was very fond of Daniel. He tried to find a way to spare Daniel, but the law could not be changed. So the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into the den of lions. As the king put Daniel in the den, he said to him, "Daniel, may your God rescue you." And a stone was brought and placed over the entrance to the lion's den. It was very dark in the lion's den, and Daniel knelt and he began to pray to God to protect him. The next morning, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God, whom you serve so faithfully, able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answered, "My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths, so that they would not hurt me." The king was overjoyed in that Daniel had been rescued from the den. There was not a scratch on him because he had trusted to God to protect him. Then King Darius sent this message to the people of every race and nation and language throughout the world. "I decree that everyone throughout my kingdom should tremble with fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he will endure forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed, and his rule will never end. He rescues and saves his people. He performs miraculous signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions, and he will rescue you too." Isn't it comforting to know that God is so close and can be trusted? And maybe God is even in your name. Peace.
Okay, we are day 4, JR here again. Hey, you know what? I hope that you're enjoying these times together, and I hope that you're having fun with the crafts. We were certainly looking forward to putting them together, and we hope that you are too. So today, we have a couple different things for you. Our snack today, because it's our Beatitude, it's going to be honeycomb. So you can take your bag of honeycomb and just munch freely on it and have a wonderful time with that. But we have something very special for you also. We have something here, and this craft, you take a pencil, and then you take your pipe cleaners and you wrap it around, and you put some antlers on it, you put some antennae on it, and then you put the googly eyes on, and you have yourself a little bee pencil. So that's our craft for today. And I certainly hope that you're enjoying yourself. And again, don't forget to look in the description and find a link to the music video for today. And have a blessed and wonderful day.